Yo, tonight on the Boom Bap Chat, it's show number 100. We about to do a couple of things. Got a couple of guests coming through tonight. Hey, yo, Till, let's start the 100th show, man.
Yes, let's start this 100th show. 100th, man, that's crazy. 100th episode, man. Wow.
Yeah.
So what we did, y'all. I'm MC Till.
And I'm Profound.
And together we bring you the Boom Bap Chat number 100. If you're tuning in, thank you. And please comment one of your favorite shows or favorite memories from the show, or one of your favorite guests that we had on the show, because we want to plug that. But what we did for our 100th episode, we thought it would be fun to come up with the top 100 native tongue songs songs of all time. So that's a big task. So we crowdsourced it, and there's one more tournament going on right now, head to head, and it is. Let me pull it up here. This is what we got right here. This is Stakes is High for Award Tour. So we're going to be talking about this question throughout the night. It's Stakes is High is killing Award Tour right now in the voting. But we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some other native tongue stuff because we have a book coming out for the native tongues. And we're just going to have a great time with that. And here to help us celebrate and talk a little bit about the native tongues, we have two incredible guests. We're going to bring them both on at the same time. One is she is everything. She is a publicist. She's a promoter. She's a writer. I wouldn't be surprised if she's a model and has a sustainable garden in her backyard. She does everything. And the other is, well, you know him. He's a dope MC, one of the illest MCs around, and has been for some time, still putting out incredible quality work, and recently put out a book. And so that's really dope. It's a companion to one of his albums. And I hear he's got more up his sleeve along those lines. So we'll get into that and more. So please join me as we welcome to the Boom Bap Chat our friend MJ. Hey, MJ.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up? And we also want to welcome our guy, Wordsworth. What's up, Wordsworth?
What's up, Words?
Man.
Hey, wait, I know Wordsworth. I think I've done some articles on you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, definitely have.
Love to,
wow, that's crazy.
Revisit those. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is, definitely.
So Wordsworth, we had you on episode 18. So This was early on. I reached out, man. I don't think you knew me. I obviously knew you, but I reached out and I was like, all right, just, on a prayer, maybe he'll respond. And you were so cool and so gracious and say, yeah, I'll come through. And I really appreciate you, rocking with us way back then. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, man. I love seeing the work and the progress is made since then with the books and everything, and just like just constantly trying to figure out how to evolve. And just, I think like the fact that you've been here so long, doing so many episodes, it's a reflection of your passion for the culture. Also with publishing works, and then like I think just showing the evolution of what it started from. I think it's been great to see.
Yeah. Thank you for that, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, and to see you put out that book, man, I was so excited because I've been telling artists like, yo, no one's buying CDs. Well, people are still buying CDs. I still buy CDs.
I still buy CDs.
Exactly. There you go. So I'm not gonna say nobody, but people buy books. People buy books.
Yeah.
And people miss those liner notes. So like, just make it an extended book. And when I saw your book, I was like, yes, this is exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm excited about that. So do you have anything else coming out soon?
Yeah, man, I got a lot of things happening, man. Shout out to my brother Profound, doing music with Profound, known Profound for a long time. And I got a kids book that should be out
oh wow,
maybe next month. And then tomorrow I'll be at Harvard. So I'll be there tomorrow presenting. And then I licensed a program to a university, so I videotaped the modules for that. So that'll be kind of coming out in a few months, and some more books. And then my album drops next month. So I'm extremely excited about my album, though.
Yeah.
The fragility of life, man. It's probably my favorite album of all my albums to me. Because just how it sounds, what it's about, and everything. So I'm excited about my album, really though, heavy.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm sure MJ's gonna be writing about it soon.
Yeah.
I definitely will. I want to know more about the kids book though.
Yeah, I'll have it out by I think next month, maybe around the time of the album. I kind of haven't let people really see what it is yet. Like I have
Right.
copies of it here and stuff like that. Like you know how you get to like your author copies and so
Yes.
on and so forth. So right now we're just like waiting on the artist to finish a couple more pages and then it'll be out. I'm kind of like aiming to do like a Pixar type vibe. Like
Okay.
I want to do something that could take it to Pixar or DreamWorks and Netflix and stuff like that. So that's the vision of what it is. But yeah, in a few like next month, then people will hear like this grand idea. When you see it, I think everybody kind of like, oh man, you know, they'll relate to it. So I kind of just keep it under wraps until it's like really gonna drop.
Yeah.
But
That's
yeah,
dope.
I got a whole bunch of ideas. I just sit here and just try to. I'm one man army kinda, so sometimes it just takes longer. But when they come out, I'm glad that everybody appreciates it.
Hey,
Yeah, definitely.
Speaking of children's stuff, was there ever a follow up to that Dino 5 project?
No, there never was, man.
I thought that was dope, man.
Yeah, thanks. And it's like a rarity now. So
Yeah.
like the CDs, I've had a few CDs left. I only got like one or two, and then that's it. So I'm not gonna sell those. But I've seen some of them go from like $15 online to $85 online.
Wow.
So yeah, for those that don't know, it's a children's album. And it's me. It's produced by Prince Paul. It's also featuring Charlie Tuna, Ladybug Mecca, and Scratch on the Roots.
Ladybug.
That is amazing lineup.
Love her.
So yeah, it's a pretty dope album, and that CD's dope because it has like an activity book inside of it too. So if you're able to read the activity book in there and stuff.
Yeah. Someone tore that activity book up from the copy at the library in Cincinnati. I checked it out one day. It's like it was tore up. Some kid got a hold of it.
Yeah, I always thought that was dope. Like when I saw the activity book, I was like, oh, this is kind of dope.
Yeah, that was a dope project all around. MJ, how about you? What do you have? What are you working on? I know you're working on 8,000 different things.
Oh my God, so much going on right now. I just launched my radio station. Actually, with the help of Rampage. He's actually my program director. So we have that going on. I'm going to be starting some virtual artist development sessions for artists. I'm going to do that monthly because it's very much needed. There's like no A&Rs anymore. Artists don't have any clue of how to move or anything. So I'm going to have those maybe once or twice a month. Rampage, we're working on a lot of stuff. He's got his sneaker line, his water line. Yeah, there's a lot going on. A lot. I can't say too much about too much, but everything's cooking like it should be.
Cooking. I like it. I like it. Profound. You think it's time we drop the question on them?
Yeah.
Don't ask me to choose. Don't ask me to choose.
Yeah, we got words in here.
How long Pro been on the show? Since what episode?
Man, that's a great question.
I remember the episode too. That's when we had the pictures up and we had the kids was out, the black and white pictures we was looking at, talking about. That was the very first time that I was on. Whereas he had no idea that I knew you. Like he didn't even know. Like Io, we got to tell that story too, because Io, who's coming in a minute, Till didn't know that me and Io Mas had a relationship already from Chicago.
Right.
And I've known Io Mas for a long time.
So he's known Io, and then he happened to get at me on Facebook and then asked me to come through the show. And then he mentioned Io, and I was like, and I just laughed like, brother, you're not gonna believe this. Like, that is my brother. Like, I know that brother. And I was like, that's Marcus. That ain't no Io Mas, man. and man, and it's just been one of those things, man. It's been over a year though now, Till, ain't it?
Yeah, I think
it's been, definitely well over a year.
Yeah, I think so. And well, you know what? We have another guest that can help us with this question. So let me introduce this next guest, bring him into the room, and and then we can talk about what we're about to do. So the next guest we're gonna bring into the room to chat it up and celebrate 100th episode is a dope MC. Please give a round of welcome to the real Rampage. Yeah.
Oh,
There he is,
the last Boy
Rampage.
Scout.
What's up, man? How are you?
Ramp?
What's going on? What's up with everybody?
We're good.
We're doing good. We got MJ in the room. We got Wordsworth and Profound in the room. Welcome.
Big up to all of y'all. Wordsworth, what up?
What's up, brother? How you been?
Good.
Cool. So the question that we are asking folks tonight, what we did was we asked a bunch of people on Facebook. We had this Facebook group, and it's all about the native tongues. We're big native tongues fans here, so we had this group that celebrates the native tongues. We asked them, hey, let's come up with our 100 favorite native tongue songs just for fun. So people submitted their lists of their favorite songs. We went through all the lists. We ranked them out according to how many times a song was listed. Then we ranked them, put them in like seeds, and we did like a March Madness tournament of the top 32 songs based on those lists. And every day people voted, and it really was cool, man. Sometimes in social media, people yelling back and forth and debating and arguing.
Yeah.
But it was pretty much all love. So we got it down to 2 songs. And so the final 2 songs, I'm going to bring my man Io Moss in here first. Welcome to Io Moss, another co-host of the Boom Bap Chat. What's up, my man?
Peace. What's up?
What up? Peace.
What's good, Io?
Peace.
What's going
So
on?
Io Moss can help us here. So this is a question, and you can say both, all right? So if you're like, I can't decide.
Man.
No, you don't think so,
No,
Profound?
Tim,
You know how we do it.
say
You can't-
both,
all right,
man.
okay, all right. There you go. I just like to celebrate the music, man, not argue and fight over it. All right, so here we go. This is the final 2 songs based on the group. This wasn't one person. All right, this was the group. This was the collective thought. We have Stakes is High by De La Soul, or Award Tour by Tribe Called Quest. Which one do you like more?
I'm tapping out.
MJ's got to go.
I'm tapping out.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go Award Tour, man. I'm going
Award Tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to Award Tour for sure.
Yeah, why Award Tour for you, Wordsworth?
I remember when that dropped right there, when Award Tour came out, that was like not only just the song, the video was fire too.
Yeah.
The video was fire too. And the beat was more, I think, just more catchy for me.
Yeah.
Like the Stakes is High was a little faster and it was cool, but that Award Tour, you throw that on right now. The way that production hit in the car, man, the drums and the bass, that beat alone is just crazy.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel it. MJ. Oh, I thought MJ was serious. No. She's back.
No.
She dropped
My
out for a
connection was
second.
going in and out.
Award Tour's on what? What album is Award Tour is on? It's on
Midnight Marauders.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Midnight Marauders is one of my favorite albums ever. Like I got that joint hanging on the wall and everything. That album is incredible.
Yeah. Rampage, how about you?
I like them both.
Yeah.
Both of them is even to me.
See, I'm not the
I
only
don't
one.
know. Right.
I feel that.
Yeah, like whoever put that together is because you ain't never been around the native tongues, because I've been around the native tongues. So I know every last one of the native tongues. I've been there. I've been in the circle since the 90s. So to put those 2 records together is like putting it the same. So I like both records.
Yeah.
I don't like one more than the other. I like them both.
Yeah.
So now
they're both dope.
they like,
Definitely.
I can't like not one and not like the other. I can't.
Right. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Especially when you putting De La against Tribe. That don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? But De La and Tribe is one. If anybody know about the native tongue, they all is one. It ain't one better than the other.
Sure.
So I couldn't say which one I like the best because I like them both. Plus, they don't make records like that no more. So, whoever saying, well, I like Tribe or I can't say that because again, then then it would have to go into Jungle Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Or then it would have to go into Queen Latifah and them. Then it has to go in, you know what I'm saying? So if you single one out, then you got to go into Black Sheep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I can't single. I think the native tongue wave is just one wave.
Right.
I can't say, yo, that's the better song, because and when them times, them eras, they two different eras too, but those joints is way up here. You know what I'm saying? They not down. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, if y'all was gonna do something native tongues, you got to start it off with the promo. Nobody, a lot of DJs don't know nothing about the promo. The promo it was 2 records made, Q-Tip and the Jungle Brothers. For those that don't know, the promo is promo 1 and promo 2. Then when we talk about native tongues records, you just can't separate them, because they got so many records together and separately, plus creatively. Like, people don't understand that Scenario's a native tongue record. Leaders of the New School is in the native tongue.
Right.
So when you say that, it branches off with so many groups that was together at that time. I can't, De La and Tribe, I could never put them on. I know them both, so I could never put them over each other. And if you was gonna do that, you gotta put De La first. Then you gotta put Jungle Brothers.
Yep.
You see how that goes into it?
Well, you don't have to, Rampage. You get a pass. You were there, but MJ, you have to pick.
I'm just saying.
I'm torn.
I'm just
I
saying.
really can't.
Native tongue people.
I don't know.
I feel what MJ's feeling.
Yeah, it's
totally.
I don't know. I can't. What was the census on Facebook when you did the poll?
Yeah, right now it is stakes is high. And what I've been stressing to people, and like I said, it's been going over well. It's like, we're voting, we're picking one over the other, but this is to celebrate.
Well, these is people's opinions, so that's cool.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
I'm gonna just tell y'all the truth. I like them both.
I almost, I think I know which one resonates with you more.
And not too many have classic albums.
True.
You know what I'm saying? They have classic singles.
Right.
But not albums.
Not albums.
Right. Yeah.
It's only a couple of them got, like, I'm gonna name you 3. That's going to stand out to everybody. My native tongue classic album. De La Soul first album. Like Worth said, Midnight Marauder. It's another one. And there's one more, Jungle Brothers' first album on Warlock. Those 3 are classic native tongue albums. Put that up and see who go with the most first. But if you listen to all 3 of those, you can listen to all 3 of those straight through.
Totally.
Not too many albums you can listen to straight through.
That's true.
I mean, I could listen to like almost all of those native tongue albums
straight through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And out of the whole native tongues, Tribe got a few of them. Tribe got their first album, the Midnight Marauder, and the third one. The first 3 albums are all hip hop classics.
Yeah, Untouchable.
Right.
And I dare somebody tell me they not.
Well, no one here will tell you that.
And De La Soul first album is a classic album. Off the rip. And Jungle Brothers first album is a classic album. I dare somebody to tell me they not.
Yeah, and I love the Jungle Brothers second album too.
I did too.
That first album was better than that second one.
First album was dope, and the second, I was happy when
I'm not knocking the second album. What I'm saying is, we're going for better albums, classic albums, straight to the point.
Yeah.
Right. So if we're gonna do native tongues, I'ma stand on them albums I just told you.
Yeah, those are strong ones to stand on. But Wordsworth, you like Done by the Forces of Nature?
You know what I liked back then that was so dope to me is that it was consistent. You was getting good albums back to back.
Correct.
You would wait for all of those groups. You would wait for the next album.
Yeah.
And you knew it was gonna be fire. Like it was no doubt about it. So everybody that you would name in those groups, you just knew the album was gonna be fire. And that was the time when I was buying like every album that came out, and I was buying a cassette. So I'm up there trying to hurry up and tell everybody I got the joint. I would try to go get it like 2 days early, whether I'm going to Beach Street or I go to Barry's on 23rd Street. So I'm going somewhere to go get this cassette early. And
I was at Beach Street Records copping all of that.
Yeah, you had to be there early because you come to school with it on cassette early. You the man right there. So
right, I'm down there like, yo, I need this, right. I need this, and I need this. And give me that Ready to Die too. I'll take that. Oh yeah, oh shit, and another something, a couple of joints that was classic, man. Y'all talking about classic. Queen Latifah, first album. Slept on, but it's classic.
True.
Yeah, and then I remember, and that's the thing. Like even mentioned Latifah, I remember buying like Black Rain, and I remember buying stuff and not worried about what I'm spending my money on.
Yeah,
that's how I felt back then. Like you knew you were going in to buy it and not worried about your money.
Right.
So that was kind of ill. Now that as you see it evolve, at some point you'd be like, nah, I'm gonna chill on this one. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. That's funny. Wordsworth.
At that moment, I'm gonna chill on this one here. But back then, it was back to back. That's when you look at your collection right now. You see, it's like 3 to 4 albums from somebody. It's like,
man. Wordsworth. I remember somewhere in like the late '90s where I really started to think before I bought a CD. Like I was really thinking it through because you only had enough money I only had enough money for like 1, maybe 2.
That's it.
So I had to make a good choice. And man, I remember if I bought a CD and like the first few songs were hitting, I was like, man, dang. That was like the worst thing in the world.
Very budgety at one point. He was like,
And did any of y'all ever like listen to an album a bunch of times hoping that like maybe this time I'll like it?
If I don't like something, then that's it.
I mean, but if you spend your money on it,
I'm not even gonna put it on there. They got you hype off the one song, and when you played the whole album, you was like, "This shit is tango." And you was like, "Damn, yo, just give me 2."
Yeah.
That's when I started just buying the singles. I remember what was it, Sam? Was it Sam Goody?
Sam Goody, the maxi
Sam
singles.
Goody.
The
they used to sell the singles. I used to just buy the singles because I was hesitant to get the albums.
Right. You didn't know.
Yeah, exactly.
You like $5 or whatever.
I remember when I went to B Street Records and I copped Dropping Science, the single.
Mm-hmm.
Craig G, Marley Marl. When I first heard that, I was like, yeah, let me go get that. Yeah. Because I'm a single person just like y'all too. Sometimes you be like, you heard a couple of records off the Marley Marl and Control album, but there was a couple of singles on there that was popping.
Right.
But the one that stood out the most was the Symphony and that Dropping Science.
Yeah.
Y'all can tell me if I'm wrong.
No, that's what it was. And then I think what happened is like as the game evolved and more business got into it, it started diluting the artists just making the joints. Yeah. And then the music started getting a little diluted in certain aspects, and you was like had to start making choices now because you're like, oh, the game, not the artist necessarily, but the business was kind of like trying to force artists to do certain things or make songs you ain't like, and you like, nah. Mm-hmm. But like the purity of it was that late 80s, early 80s, early 90s, the purity of it until it got real business. But then you had to start making those money decisions. But like early on, man, I just would just buy an album. You just would buy it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I remember buying albums because they looked dope.
Right.
Yeah. Didn't even know the group. Like,
I bought Midnight Marauders
That's true.
I bought Midnight Marauders 4 times.
Yeah, it's true though. You could
I kept getting jacked
randomly. That was dope.
Yeah, totally.
Mike Jack.
Ramp, they were stealing the albums from you, Ramp.
Stealing, man. Teeth. As they would say, teeth in my teeth. And I had them on tape. Yeah. Then I wound up going to Jive. I used to go to record labels back then, and they would just give them to me for free. But my fourth time, I got it for free. I don't know where I was. I don't know. It was the tape, the physical tape. I had the credits. I pulled it out. I was like, this is fresh. You could smell it in this fresh. I swear to God, that day, I'm playing the shit out that Midnight Marauders from beginning to end. Yeah. And I got jacked. I was pissed.
I'm gonna head
my
out.
teeth be tape.
Yo, Wordsworth, thank you so much for coming by, man.
Good building with all y'all, man. And man, congratulations on 100 episodes, man. I'll be back for 200.
Yeah, no doubt. When you drop your album, obviously doors always open for you, man.
Yes, sir. Yep. All right, thank y'all. Peace.
Yep. Peace, Wordsworth. Yeah, in Rampage and MJ, there's no formal structure tonight. Whenever you need to go, it's all love. We really appreciate you stopping by for any amount of time and chatting it up with us tonight.
Well, I want to say peace to y'all and thank y'all for having me. And I'll be back on y'all 500 episode.
There you go. Thank you. We'll get there. Thank you, Rampage. Thanks, I really appreciate you,
man.
Salute, God.
Right back at you.
Yep.
All right. Peace, man.
Peace.
Man, so dope.
Yeah. What?
Hey, the cassettes. Hey, Ace, Master Ace put the cassettes out for Disposable Arts and Long Hot Summer.
Yeah, recently. I thought he put
them out recently and they sold out. And I just saw something else that he had posted. Yeah, saying that he had some more. But you got to get them while they hot, or they gonna be gone.
That's right.
Cassettes too, man. Like I still got a tape deck, man.
Man, so do I. Yep.
I still got a tape deck in my original Dead Serious by Das Effects, man. On cassette, bro.
Wow.
The word's not on it, but I mean, you know what I mean? But still, it's still the original Chrome cassette joint.
I took
you muted,
man. MJ,
you muted, bro.
Obviously, you can hang out with us a lot as long as you want, but if you need to go, that's fine too.
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, cool. I remember I had a bunch of tapes, and I just recently, within the last few years, I think I took most of my tapes over to the record store, Everybody's Records, that we always promote on the show, and just dropped them off so they could sell them. But I had to keep my Native Tongues tapes, so I still got like De La Soul and Tribe tapes, and got a brand Nubian tape. I couldn't give those up. Like I got to keep my Native Tongues.
Come on, Till, do it for the culture.
If someone came to my house and was like, "Yo, I got a tape player. Can I have these tapes?" I think I'd probably give it to them, but I don't know.
Listen, I still have a boombox in my office for my cassettes and my CD player.
And I have a CD player, but I don't have a tape player.
Yeah,
that's so dope.
All one thing. It's got the CD player, the cassette tape. My kids are like, "What the hell is that?" Because it's huge.
Right, they don't know.
Y'all carry this heavy old thing around?
Yeah, exactly.
We sure did. Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. You was gonna carry that before your backpack, man. You wasn't carrying it. My radio at, man.
Speaking of old school equipment, let's bring in Marcus. Marcus still has a VCR.
Yo.
Hey, look though.
Wow.
But it's a market for like new VCR, like VCR movies and all of that stuff, man. That's on VHS and all of that, man.
Yeah,
all of that stuff is coming back, bro.
Definitely. And
I don't know that I necessarily want to sit there and watch a VHS movie with the quality today, man.
Yeah,
for real.
I'm with that. I don't know.
Speaking of Marcus, I want to bring in Marcus's comment from earlier, which I kind of want to stress. He said this was when we were talking about like native tongues and can you put like one versus the other? And Marcus said, I feel it's what you prefer. They are all dope groups. Totally.
Yep.
And
that's true. Yeah.
And again, like the tournaments, like I was a little hesitant to do this tournament, but it's all love. It's for fun. It's to get people talking about each other. Like, okay, you picked this song. Why did you pick this song? Like,
right.
Why does this one resonate more than that one? So it's all love and all about conversation. So
sometimes you get those people that are just like, I'm right no matter what.
Oh,
you know
yes.
what I mean? Sometimes you get those people though.
That argue for
Right.
the sake of arguing.
My
Exactly.
opinion is the right opinion. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So, totally.
No.
No,
And I mean, and it was, I mean, you just can't, it's like either way, I mean, Till, that's why we kind of did it. It's like you can't really go wrong.
you can't.
You know what I
Right.
mean? You can't go wrong either direction if you pick, because there's days where I'm gonna listen to Stakes is High and Award Tour probably right behind each other.
Right.
Facts.
Yeah. I ran up to the store tonight to grab something, and I put in Award Tour, and I was like, man, I think
the way that
I
snare
think-
come in,
I
bro.
think I like this more than Stakes is High. Like any given time, you know. It's a great.
The way that
it's a great
snare
song.
come in and pop,
Yeah.
man, and
I
then
know.
and then when the beat finally drop,
Yeah.
oh man.
And then you got Dave from De La Soul.
I
doing the
know.
hook. I love that.
You know what
Man.
I was thinking about Tribe, because I still have to finish my writings. What I was thinking of, what came to my mind, man, until, man, I'm gonna get that done, man. This weekend, man, for real, is my cap off, man. I'm almost done. But the one thing I
snap.
notice about them that I can appreciate from them is they so dope, but they were so simple.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, and I don't mean it disrespectfully when I say simple. Like, they just seemed like they would just get in a session, and it was just like, man, we getting ready to have the greatest time that we done ever had while we record these 12, 14 songs, and we gonna let it all hang out. And it just and I think that's why the music feels like it does to me. It's like you just kind of feel the camaraderie whenever you listen to A Tribe Called Quest or De La Soul, because that's just what they exemplified, you know, and you see that through the native tongues.
And I feel that way. Well, go ahead, Adam.
Oh no, go ahead, too.
I was gonna say I feel that way with The Wolf in Sheep's Clothing by Black Sheep. That is just a fantastic album. And speaking of that fantastic album, I want to bring you our next guest tonight, stopping through to celebrate with us our 100th episode. We have one of my personal favorite MCs of all time, who made one of my personal favorite albums of all time. I'm so excited to see this man again. Please join me as we welcome to the Boom Bap Chat, Drez, the Black Sheep.
Hello.
Drez,
Good, Joe.
what's up? What's up, man?
Everything's good, man. Feeling good. Just feeling like the older version of myself. Listening to y'all chat and whatnot, and like definitely, brother hit a lot of things on the head as far as the camaraderie of the time. Like I was just recently thinking of like one of the places we would meet would be the studio, and and it was like if it wasn't a Tribe session, if it wasn't a De La session, if it wasn't a Jungle Brother session, if it wasn't a Black Sheep session, it was someone else's session that we'd meet at Calliope, and that was pretty much how we began and ended our days. You know what I'm saying? Like we were always together for the most part, even if it was just reflections of each group. You know what I'm saying? Might be just one, might just Fife might just be in the studio, or or Merce might just be, you know what I'm saying, if not all of us. And I used to have a big sense of the record getting out of the room. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like we made records to impress each other first. You know what I'm saying? So there is this camaraderie. There is these inside jokes and all of this stuff that's going on, because our first, I think our like we felt like if we could kill the room, the public was easy. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? So that's what you're really hearing in some of those Tribe and Native records, those De La records, Jungle, and as well, like I also learned like from De La, like as far as live performance, and I embody it as they do at this point. But just to say, there's no one that's gonna have more fun at our show than we are. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like I've literally seen, like in the middle of Germany somewhere, where Dave and Merce do an entire song of theirs, but sound like Busta Rhymes. You know what I'm saying? Like just having fun. You know what I'm saying? Like just because. You know what I'm saying? And that's a freedom I think a lot of artists, just don't exemplify today. Like, you know, like they're so trying to remember half the verse and hope you remember the other half so that you can help them do it.
Right.
Let alone, you know what I'm saying? Let alone, you know what I'm saying, you know, be someone else, you know.
Right.
So, you know, like they definitely, all of the groups really, I learned from all of them. And you know, like I was one of the last ones probably in that door, that initial door. I was probably one of the last ones in that door. You know what I'm saying? So I got a chance to learn so much from these dudes. And and years later when I hear people talking about them, you know what I'm saying, or about us even, that, you know, like the people get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there was this bond that, you know, and it's great that it's on analog because it's a warmth that added to the bond.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, like it's Bug. I'm releasing a project right now, and the project's amazing. With Stu Bangers.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We
It's
released
bananas.
it. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's insane.
Just releasing the third single tomorrow, Friday, called the title cut, Sheep Stew. I was just putting up a little video snippet on my IG. But just to say, I've done an entire project, and the project is dope. I've never been in the same room as Stu Bangers in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's a different way to make music, right?
Different, yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And it's my word. Like, me and Stu talk on the phone. We text every single day. And you know what I'm saying? Like, that's my dude. I've never been in the same room as this man. Wow. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, like, that's just how far we've come.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like I'm telling you about a meeting place.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, these days we don't even have to leave our bedroom.
Yeah. But you know what's crazy though? When you listen to the album, when you listen to the music, you wouldn't even think that you guys didn't meet. You know what I mean?
Right.
You just envision that you two were in the studio together.
Right.
I mean, one of the things that was really cool about the project was that it wasn't rushed. You know, like when me and Stu met, it was, you know, how a producer will post online, you know, a beat and be like, you know, who do you hear on this? Right. And somebody put my name on one of his beats. And so when I heard the beat, I was like, oh, this is dope. You know, and I just commented, you know, like, yo, this shit's hot. This, that, and the other. And me and him just started, you know, chatting in a DM for a second. And, you know, I really liked, you know, I kind of browsed through his page and I really liked what he offered. And at the time I was knee deep in the D&D project. And so I told him, I was like, yo, I felt like what his beats evoked in me was different than what this D&D project is going to sound like.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I was like, yo, bro, once you just start sending me beats, I was like, yo, I'm working on something right now. I said, but if you just start sending me beats, I'll create a folder of joints that I like. And when I finish what I'm doing, you know, we see what happens. You know, so we'll put something together. And so he started sending me beats. And during the midst of I'm doing a D&D project, Dilla and Drez, and I'm doing a documentary about the making of it. So during it, the documentary side, it got to the legalities, and it was some paperwork, and you know, Dilla's family, you know, everybody has to sign off and blah blah blah, you know, lawyers. And so I found myself sitting on my hands. And then I got a little mad at myself because I felt like I had all of my eggs in this basket, in this D&D basket. So I made a vow to myself. I was like, you know what? Nah, from here on out, I'm just going to do an ongoing series of EPs with different producers that I like. It doesn't have to be anybody known. Hopefully I'll do a few known, but you know, it could be anybody that I just think is dope. I just do 5 songs with them. And I've got a folder to start with. I'll start with this Stu Bangers. So while I'm on this downtime, I started writing to the EP, you know what I'm saying? And you know, I'm back doing we're back filming the documentary and this and the other, but I'm never gonna have all my eggs in a basket, you know, so to speak, just to say that, you know, and I knew better. Like, you know, like I found myself sitting down like waiting, because I had already put a lot of stuff on hold making this D&D project. It's a really amazing project as well. But during that downtime, I realized, whoa, you know, like I'm not doing enough, and time's too short to not be doing enough. So you know, so you're gonna start seeing EPs just dropping from me, 5 songs with different cats. The next one I'm gonna do is I'm a couple of songs deep is DJ Dez. Yeah, like, bro, I've only done 2 joints on this one, but it's wow. Like it's really, and it's very different from the Stu Bangers, you know what I'm saying? You know, so I think that's as well is going to give me this freedom that's current, that you know, that I think especially as us artists get older, and we've survived getting older in this industry, like, you know, like don't slow down. I think we have more to say now. You know what I'm saying? So I press all of the, you know, all of the artists that you know, that aren't new, to really, you know, like tighten up your belt, and let's you know, let's go out with a bang, you know. Well,
man, I love that, man. And the songs I've heard off of Sheep Stew, man, you haven't missed a beat. You know, he's slicker than ever. Yeah, no, I love it, man. And I can't, you know, and Dilla's my favorite producer of all time. So like, I can't wait for the D&D project.
Man, it's a really cool project, and cats are gonna get a chance to kind of hear me in a few different ways that they've never heard me before. You know, and with a ton of features from the likes of, you know, Bun B to Freeway to Chuck D to Source Money to, I mean, Delta Funky Homo Sapien, Chia Lee.
Wow.
I mean, like, yeah, man, I got Afro and Lil D. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
nice.
We gonna have a good time on this piece, and it's an amazing piece of work. You know what I'm saying? My man Alexander Simone, who's the grandson of Nina Simone, Victoria, were Silence. I mean, really, really, really good music, and yo, I look forward to people not only hearing this project, but the making of this documentary is going to be amazing, I think, as well, because it's like you're going to go on this journey with me. I wasn't Dilla's man. You know what I'm saying? Like, out of all of the natives, I probably knew him the least. You know what I'm saying? Like I only met Dilla once in passing.
Yeah.
Wow. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't as well versed with his music as I am now. Of course, I knew the stuff that he'd done inside, you know, the camp, and you know, and whatever might have blown up, you know, for the most part. But it was only when I was given this opportunity that I took it really seriously, because I really realized the opportunity. I was like, you know, like my Dukes could have offered that to anyone in the world. And literally, you know what I'm saying? Literally, like she has seen me perform a few times. And, you know, I wound up hanging out with her and her husband, and we're at their house in Puerto Rico. We're talking, she's cooking, and they were trying to decide a few things to do with, you know, I think some of the rights that they were given as far as, you know, being the estate. And they were looking for a project, you know, to put together. And they asked would I be interested in putting some stuff together with you know, with some of his music. And the fact that it was, you know, mom asking me, I'm like, you know, like, wow, like, you know, like, yeah, I would love to. And then once we started making the documentary, I flew back out there and was filming with her. And so on camera, you know, I felt it was important for me to ask her, why did you let me do this? You know what I'm saying? Like, I you know, I was just honest, like, you know, like, I didn't know your son like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love everything I've learned about him. But you know, like, you know, like he knew other cats, you know, really closely, even cats that are close to me.
Right.
And she was like, you know, like she had seen me perform, and she felt like he would like that. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't anything. It was just, you know, that's just what she felt.
Yeah.
And that worked for me, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I moved forward feeling like I was blessed by God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? To put this project together. And it's really cool. And, you know, it'll be towards the end of this year. You probably hear the DJ Dez project before you wind up hearing the D&D. But, you know, I got a lot of good music coming, for real.
Man, I can't wait. And I wanted to ask you, you know, Shorty No Mas put out an album not too long ago. Super dope.
Oh, I got to peep it.
Yeah, Phife Dawg put out, you know, the state put out his album recently. You got this banging music coming out. It just feels like there's something in the water in the native tongues right now. Like, are you talking to any of the other, you know, members of the native tongues? Is there something going on? Are y'all like feeling the same energy? Like, what's happening with the native tongues? I feel like a resurgence.
I feel you. Like, honestly, I feel you. Tip text me maybe 2 days ago, like, yo, I was just thinking about you. I miss you, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, like, I just came from London with De La. I was just out in London with De La. and most, you know, saying most was with us out there, and you know, so I mean, yeah, like, you know, like we stay in touch, and at any given moment we might do something stupid on Marco Polo for all of us to laugh at because we all be like on the same channel. So I mean, you know, like we're around, and I do kind of feel something on the undercurrent too, but you know, like I guess I've kind of tempered myself to not expect much outside of myself. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
But I would love to. I hope, like, you know, like in my mind, you know, in my mind we haven't done what we were supposed to do, not what we're here for. You know, like we made these records that were about empowerment, unity, about, you know, being self-sufficient, about us advancing the culture, advancing, you know, helping the children grow, and, you know, and taking care of the elders, and, you know, like some real community important stuff. And I feel like then we weren't a microcosm of what we wanted the people to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I felt like we were supposed to lead by example, and, you know, like we're supposed to tour every year. We're supposed to put out records on our own distribution channel, and you know, things of that nature to show what happens when we pool our resources, and you know, things of that nature. Like we didn't do it, and it's very disappointing, you know, that we didn't. And you know, for years I've been an advocate of trying to us at least coming together to do a tour or something of that nature, because we can all still do what we do individually,
right?
And just come together for a couple of months, and while we're on the tour, we should make a record probably, you know. And you know, like there's so much that's right in front of us, low hanging fruit at this point. But the fact that you can't even write a check to the native tongue, wow, you know, it's disappointing, you know.
I'll say one more thing, then Pro and Iomas, I'll bow out here. But we interviewed Shorty Nomas a few weeks ago. Loved that interview. Loved having her on. Great energy. And we kind of brainstormed an idea. You know, De La Soul, they did a crowdsource operation, GoFundMe, for their last album, and they raised like over $500,000, right? So I thought, okay, why somebody just get with all the Native Tongues members, see how much money it'll take to get, like, you know, a couple verses, hire the, you know, figure out how much it'll take to pay for the beats, means? And crowdsource that sucker.
$1 million.
$1 billion.
Hey, De La Soul did $500,000.
$1 zillion. But don't you understand? Nah, I mean, honestly, I think that's a dope idea. It'll definitely be a number. But I think it's a really good idea, to be honest with you, because, and maybe that's what they need to see, that the people want it.
People want it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know,
that's kind of the point I'm making. Like, let people put their money up that want to see it, because I think if you allow people to say, hey, there's a Native Tongues album that's going to come if we raise, you know, however $1 million, I think I think the people would do it. I think
on a real, I think it's possible. I do.
Because you gotta think, like, people that grew up on you and De La and Tribe, like, they grew up and they became lawyers and doctors and all kinds of stuff. Like, and died. Well, that too. Hey, I'm a super fan, man. I keep brainstorming ideas. So
that's a very good idea. And honestly, you know, like, maybe that's something that I could bring up in conversation. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, I honestly, like, at different points in time, I felt like the money was there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, at different points in time, like whatever it was, there's been situations where, like, all right, cool. And it still didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's like, man, I don't, you know, like, I'm at the point where I've reduced my stress significantly, not giving a fuck about it anymore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, that's good, man.
Because I really was that dude, like, you know, every year that was like, yo, we got to do it this year.
Right.
And, you know, one of the things that I've learned, and I don't mean this in a bad way. I mean this as something that either is going to be relatable or that is something you just haven't bumped into yet. But a lot of times when you want someone to do something that might be sitting in a position that's maybe a little bit more significant than yours at the moment, and that's not to say that, you know, that they're superior or anything of the sort, but the position that they sit in at the moment is superior to yours. A lot of times when you want that person to do something, you really have to find yourself, you have to find your way up to at least be eye level, if not in a superior position at another moment. Because when you approach it from a position where you're looking up, it's really, you know, like the significance in what you're saying is lost in the position that it's coming from, unfortunately. And, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, if you haven't bumped into it, you will. And don't get frustrated. It's, if anything, it's incentive to get eye level or above.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because what it's saying is that you're not in position for what you're saying to be heated. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, you know, like, so at the end of the day, like, and it was something that I realized too, like I realized too late when I was kind of at the top of the totem pole for a hot 10 seconds, you know what I'm saying? You know, it was a new experience and there was a lot I didn't realize that I could do, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, like, because I think the music was kind of young, and sometimes you're the first person into a room, you know, like with first group to perform on Jay Leno, you know what I'm saying? So being the first person in the room, you don't want to break anything. You don't, you know what I'm saying? You want to be invited back. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to come in and be like, you know, finally fucking made it. Yo, who got the weed? And you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you know, I brought my girl and her girl, and you know what I'm saying? You know, like, no, you know, so you just want to get in and make sure that you can assess it, and, you know, and that when you come back, you know how to kind of move amongst. And so that's what hip hop has kind of done. But one of the things that I learned was that I had more power than I realized. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, so if Jay Leno wanted me to do Tonight Show and I wanted to do it with the native tongue, I could have done it. Right. I didn't realize stuff like that at the time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And, you know, like there's the game, and then there's the game outside of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, what I'm doing right now is the game outside of the game, where I'm releasing a song every week. I'm not playing their game anymore. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing my own thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, right. I'm gonna release a song every week and promote what, you know, like, because I felt like when you release a project these days, if it's 10 songs next week, everybody's like, yo, so what else you got? Yeah. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's attention span is too short. You know, they don't even play. They're just looking for a song for their playlist. And, you know, they might even listen to the rest of your shit. Right. So what I decided to do by doing just EPs, 5 songs, all right, I'm going to give it to you a song at a time, a song every week. And I'm going to do this again and again and again, because what I'm doing is promoting the fact that I have good music. You're going to hear it. Right. At least one point in this week, you're going to hear every song that I'm doing. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, right. And, you know, like I'm like later for what the people are doing. Let me establish my relationship with the people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what us as artists have to really start really doing. You know what I'm saying? And back to the native tongue, you know, like we are so strong amongst the people that I hate that we became corporate. You know what I'm saying? Like the native tongue is very corporate right now. We don't move unless it's backed by corporation and this and the other. And I'm like, you know, like not like, you know, that's not even who we are. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and man, like the people, I think you have a novel idea with the crowdfunding source thing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because it really would show just what the people really want. And honestly, I think we're a missing voice in the world today. Yeah, absolutely. And an important voice at that.
Totally, you know? Yeah, definitely. Mas Profound, anything you want to ask about?
Man, well, Brother Drez, I do want to ask. I was going to ask, since we were talking earlier about like the camaraderie and not like, you know, like you recording EPs and the way that technology is now today. You know, I can do a song with you from the West Coast. You know what I mean? Like, and we all artists here, and you more seasoned than us. But I just want to know, do you feel that that's a somewhat of a negative thing now that you're not in the you know what I mean, that you can't be like when I do songs with Iomas, even though we send them to each other, we're not in the studio together anymore, and I can tell that they're different.
Right. I feel you. I think I've been afforded a luxury that as an artist I came from a time that I learned a few things amongst people. So for me to kind of dig to that space, it's there to dig to. So I think I can kind of take whatever it is. I don't necessarily have to have the camaraderie today, but in the space when I was a young artist and developing, and you know, like it was tremendous. You know what I'm saying? It was tremendous, and because it was like not only am I in the studio, I'm performing in front of cats. Right. So like I said, so you know, so once it came outside of the studio, performing in front of people I don't know, like that has never been even. I've never had stage fright or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it wouldn't make a difference if it was 100,000 people. You know what I'm saying? Because my music got out the room, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? And you know, as far as like not being in the same room today, like you know, like I know how a record's supposed to sound in my head, and I'm trying to create what I hear in my head. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, matter of fact, I'm in a place today where I don't want a bunch of people in the studio. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like right. All of the side chatter and all of the is taken away from what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like but when we were kids, we were eating off of that. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, that was important. I wanted you to hear what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? I'm spitting this for the cats in the room. Today, I don't need confirmation. I know what I'm hearing.
Respect.
You know what I'm saying? I know what I'm hearing. So, you know, like, but that's been afforded me over time, you know, and life, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the blessing of life. As a young artist, you know, where you are now, you know what I'm saying? And even having, you know, a few notches in your belt, you know, like you're still learning and always will be. I'm not saying I'm not. You're always going to be learning, you know what I'm saying? And you're learning how to deliver yourself in the best package possible. You know, the reflections in your voice when you should do different things within a song, and all of that should play out in your head. You know what I'm saying? Like you should study your stuff, so that when you let it go, when I say let it go, when you release it, you have no problem standing next to it. This is my word. There's not a record in my catalog that I don't have that I have a problem standing next to, because I know what went into every song that I made. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and I think all of the neighbors probably feel like that. You know what I'm saying? And like it's a bug time in music, because especially in hip hop, the young eat the elders. You know what I'm saying? Like you literally have to, you know, like be you have to stay in shape as a lion. You know what I'm saying? You better stay in shape as a lion, because if you become a lion that becomes old and a little out of shape, you know, the young are going to eat you. You know, that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to eat you for no reason. like I don't even understand how, you know, how they move amongst each other. So, you know, how they move amongst us, it's going to be, you know, just beyond understanding. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, but they do respect ability. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why I'm not into telling you what I think a young cat should do musically. I'm more into showing you, you know what I'm saying? As far as my opinion, because I'm also of the nature that, you know, like just because I view it one way, you know, you don't have to view it that way for it to be successful, for it to be loved, for it to be everything that you want it to be. You know what I'm saying? You know, there's a lot of ways to skin a cat. But just to say, you know, but at the end of the day, I do have this understanding that 30 years in music, you know, will afford you. You know what I'm saying? And you know, so moving forward, you know, like when I say you know, like I got some stuff that I can't wait for people to hear. Like I really mean that in a way, in a choice is yours kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't wait for people to hear the choice is yours. I was like, oh my God, I can't wait for people to hear this. And I think at this point, when I say the young East, the elders, you know, it's kind of fucked up because, you know, like at the end of the day, like we don't do that in any other form of music. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if you get the opportunity to be a Rolling Stone, you know, you kind of get props for that. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, and you don't have to really sit down and, you know, you get to keep working and, you know, make a living and a good living at that. You know what I'm saying? But just to say, you know, our platforms diminish when you get older. You know, you find yourself fighting to just be heard, to even be recognized on some levels. You know what I'm saying? Like to get out of the shadow of the things that people feel are nostalgic. You know what I'm saying? Because it's almost like, you know, like to have a big record, you know, like you're kind of always, that's kind of always what is in the, you know, like you're always in the shadow of it. Yeah. So I'm always presenting, you know, new music that, you know, it's not going to be the choice is yours. It's either going to be bigger or it's going to be lesser, but it's not going to be the choice is yours. You know what I'm saying? Right. And, you know, and the chances of it being bigger are pretty slim, but, you know, regardless, it's not going to be the choice is yours. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't mean, you know, I don't put out records, and it doesn't mean I don't continue to do what I do. And, you know, and it doesn't mean that the newest stuff isn't just as important. If possibly even more. You know what I'm saying? Now. But because it's now. And because I think what I do, like I said, there's difference in what I do and, you know, what any little does. You know what I'm saying? Like it just is. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's important for cats to take that in. You know what I'm saying? I feel like my perspective is important. And, you know, like it's a perspective that is different. You know what I'm saying? Right. And not to say that is bad or better or worse, but just different. Yeah. And you know, like it was, you know, like Malcolm X that, you know, said like, you know, sometimes we'll have different ways of going about something, but if we're trying to achieve the same thing, then that's okay. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like we all make different kinds of records. Right. But the objective is the same. You know what I'm saying? The objective is still hip hop. You know what I'm saying? At the root. You know what I'm saying? It's still community. It's still culture. It's still us. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like we might not do it the same, but we need to see it the same. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We're together. You know what I'm saying? We're a community of like minds. You know what I'm saying? Dope. Much more so than gender or even color. Yeah. Right. You know what I'm saying? We're like-minded. You know what I'm saying? That's what bonds us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you know, like it's important that we don't lose that. And and a native tongue voice is the voice of that. And we need much more of that. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that we don't need everything else that we have on the table, but we need much more of that.
Definitely. And speaking of different, I want to bring in another guest to chop it up with us. This MC jumped on the scene as one half of a super dope group, and it was real different for me than what I was used to. MOP, Mash Out Posse. All right. So if you all would please join me as we welcome to the Boom Bap Chat the one and only Billy Danz.
What up?
All right.
Salute to that man.
All right.
Always in his car.
Make me feel special.
Always in the car.
Hey, you are, man.
I'm always moving, always trying to get it.
Billy Danz, I remember, I forget what grade I was in, but I remember my buddy, he was always bringing me stuff I didn't know about. He brought me this MOP tape, and I was like, oh, what's this? And I went home, and I was like, whoa, I never heard anything like this. This is I don't even know what to think of this. And then, you went on to put out classics, and I've enjoyed you ever since, man. Welcome to the show, man. Glad you could make it.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, whoever that brother was that gave you the MOP cassette, man, let me thank him too. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we needed. We was coming from the, it was the beginning for us. So
yeah,
we needed all the help that we can get. Everybody tried to push us out. Like you said, it was something different. So it was hard for people to accept it right away. But we was just, it was just good. We was just being honest with, who we were. And that's the way, that's the way we made the music. So I'm just glad people received it as well as they could, you know what I'm saying, and helped me get out of a bad situation. And I'm still going. And I'm here with you guys today. So what we doing?
still going, man. And I remember when we had you on the show many episodes ago, I remember you telling us a story about, I think you were in Brownsville, and there was a moment where you were about to go do something that might have, took your life one way, and you went the MOP route, and kind of the rest of the history. And that stuck with me. That story stuck with me.
Yeah.
I'm glad you went that route, and gave us
decades
of music.
Me too, brother.
Yeah.
At one time I didn't want to actually tell that story, but I realized it's a story that a younger artist or somebody in a bad position really needs to hear.
Yeah.
We don't have to be stuck in those places.
Right.
And the story is, if everybody that's on the line right now that don't know the story is, I was in the middle of an act, right? We'll say that, and Fame walked up on me and asked me to go with him to the studio, because 3 months prior to that he had asked me to do a record with him. And I'm like, when? He like, right now. And I'm going, dude, the bag that I need to get is right there. So, but he looking like, yo, come on. And by the grace of God, I kept looking in his face, and I'm looking in his eyes. There's something in his eyes that's saying, go with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, it could have went the other way. I could have went left and did something wrong that would have prevented us from having this conversation, prevented me from having, a great career and multiple kids that get on my nerves right now. But I love everything about my life right now. You know what I'm saying? I love it. Word.
Brother Billy Danz, I think that's dope, man. I think the dopest thing about it that I take from it is that, man, you listen when God was talking to you, because it seemed like God was talking to you right through Fame, and he showed up right there. And a lot of times, I know I done missed many a blessing not paying attention. And man, brother, that's just that's some deep wisdom, man. That's some deep wisdom right there for all of us, especially these young ones.
No doubt.
It's even heavier than that, bro, because when I decided to not do what I had planned on doing for the whole week, you know what I'm saying? When I decided to go with Fame, it was literally my very first time in the studio. I'd never been in the studio in my life. I never rapped that hard in my life. We created a song, half of a song, called How About Some Hardcore. Like I said, I never rapped that hard in my life, so I couldn't finish the song. And we literally got a deal with an unfinished song. So about a week later, my man Lays came back. He was connected to Silver D, who was the A&R. Had a lot of pull at Select Records at that time. And literally a week later, bro, they came back. Yo, they want to do a deal.
All right.
So my life was instantly changed. You know what I mean? So, and I thank God for Fame, for him just, pulling me into this thing, man. Because it's every other rapper's story. It's the same story. All of us in communities, we're in bad situations. We got this ceiling that we see, this success ceiling, right? And we feel like if we get to a certain spot, we there. Which is, if you get a chain, you get a car, you get a couple dollars, you good money, regardless to what you put up. You know what I'm saying? Whatever bet you place, your life, your freedom. If you get to that ceiling, you good money. So it's something that we all see, whether we recognize it or not, that we're in a bad position. But we do have some outlets. And I like the way things are today, especially with music and just life in general, because these kids have so much more than what we had. I was talking to Evident for Dilated People earlier today, and we talked about how the artists, the producers, the NBA players, everybody that we knew as we was kids growing up, they seemed like they weren't real people, right? Like we didn't know like the NBA players was from the same areas we were from. We just know they were celebrities that had money. Same with the artists. But now it's different for kids because they have artists like, 50 Cent, Mobb Deep, or Jay-Z. Like we know they're from these urban communities. So if they can do it, then you definitely can do it. So we got a little more hope now, and I'm happy about that. You know what I mean?
Dope. That's super dope.
Yeah.
Super dope. Yeah, I love that, man. I love that. Mas, anything on your mind?
Nah, man, I'm just happy to see Billy, man.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Just and that story, the whole conversation, we was talking about guns and stuff. That whole because I do a lot of workshops with youth. You know what I'm saying? Who some want to rap or some just listen to the music of today. And I often think about that story that you told, and I think it's very important. You know what I'm saying? But one of the things I want to thank you for. I saw you and Fame on the Wake Up Show, and y'all was performing, and I was like, man, that's how you supposed to do it. The way y'all was going back and forth, and I was like, ooh, they killing it. Y'all was in y'all bag, man. I was like, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. Like, and I was like, man, I hope it's some young people watching this, like seeing the artistry and seeing the skill. Like y'all was like definitely Jedis, like. Yeah. On the show, it was like it was so dope. So I just want to say thank you for that, because it helped me too. Like with live performance, like that's how you're supposed to do it. If you can't do it at that level, you shouldn't be doing it. So just thank you for that, man. Yeah. Giving us that blueprint on how to be MCs. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, bro.
For real.
Well, I mean, I had to get it from somebody, right? So I got it from the cats that came before me. But. So with the young kids now today, like we can't even be mad at the way they perform, because they only perform to what they know or how they know, right?
Sure.
So really, and this is without throwing any punches or anything, like really to some of these kids, Soulja Boy is like the OG, the old school, or the cats from his era is like older cats now.
Right.
Yeah.
I was just fortunate enough to learn from KRS-One and Big Daddy Kane and G-Rap and Rakim and cats like that. You know what I'm saying? I remember a story I tell. I really don't tell that much, and I'm already in the game for years. But I was doing a show somewhere in the South, and I was walking to the stage. Man, I had this mic in my hand, and this is when I was drowned in Hennessy. So I had the Hennessy in one hand, I had the mic in one hand, and when I got to the door of the stage, somebody takes the mic out of my hand and place it back in my hand properly. And he goes, this is how you hold the mic. Look, I'm already like maybe 10 years into the business already. Yeah. So I'm already figuring I know how to hold a mic. I look up, it was Kane. It was Big Daddy Kane. And I have never held my mic any other way except for the way he showed me from that moment. That's huge, right? So that's like LeBron James showing you how to dribble the ball to today's kid. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I learned from those guys, man. And I got so much respect for the cats that came before us, because so in this music, I call it this thing of ours, right? And this is the only thing that really belongs to us. We started it in the park, or in the middle of the street from a light pole. They plugged up some wires and got it going, right? So it came from a light pole, and now it's hitting cell phone towers. This thing of ours is growing ridiculously, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I think everybody, like nowadays, like we got with hip hop, you could take the Major League Baseball teams, basketball teams, all of this. You could put all the tech companies, the big billion-dollar tech companies, add Elon Musk, and collectively they have not been able to secure more homes in the urban community than hip-hop. This is our thing. We really need to keep it going. So even if it's kids out there that's putting out records that I don't like how they sound, I'm still buying their music because these is our young brothers that's actually not doing what I was doing when I was 16 years old or 19 before Fame walked up on me and asked me to go to the studio. You know what I'm saying? I love it all. Even though I probably don't listen to the music, bro, if I see any links.
Oh, snap.
Oh.
He was dropping jewels.
He must have got a dope link.
The
got
Matrix,
a dope link.
you see?
Yeah.
You see? The Matrix, man.
I'm sure he'll jump back. I'm sure he'll jump back in. But
he was dropping jewels, bro.
We're gonna try to get Thought Provoker in here. See if Thought Provoker has been listening in for a minute. See if we can get him. Thought Provoker, you there, man? And we also, as we try to get Thought Provoker and get Billy Dance back, we are also going to bring in our good friend A1. Oh, here's Billy Dance.
Yo.
Yeah,
A1.
Billy Dance. Billy Dance, you want to continue? Then we're gonna welcome.
I ain't talking no more, man. Y'all done banged on me. So this dude talking way too much. All right.
Oh no, that wasn't us, man. That wasn't us. That was
Matrix, man.
That was the Matrix got you or something.
The Matrix got you.
Bottom line is this thing of ours need to continue to grow. We need to pump new blood through it as much as we can so we can secure our people, man. And I love this hip hop, and we all should love it, right?
Facts.
I feel that.
That's
and
right.
Billy Dance, I'm not sure if you're aware of a really dope group, A1 and Phonics.
Yes.
We have our brother here, A1. I want to introduce you to A1, Billy Dance.
All right. What's up, champ?
See, the Matrix got him too.
That's the
Matrix got him too.
A1, we can't really hear you, man. It's like real robotic. Like real choppy.
Got the Max Headroom going on, man. You remember that?
But Billy Dance,
Max Headroom, man.
But I can hear you a little bit, champ. Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Keep trying. It's still like real choppy. Yeah,
that's
Matrix.
Weird. Hold on, let me shut.
Oh, there you go.
That's better.
You can hear you.
There you go.
All right, go ahead, A1.
Let me just shut down the software. I got something going on here.
And for podcast listeners who can't see this right now, on the screen we have our good friend, one of the first guests we ever had on the Boom Bap Chat. We have our good friend A1. So A1 officially welcome to the show.
Salute.
All right.
Salute.
Now, peace, everybody. But
peace.
yo, the General Billy Dance. I saw you in 2000 at the Sheraton in Norfolk. You was there, y'all was doing y'all thing. Smooth B was there. Y'all had Smooth B with y'all. I don't know if you remember that day, but let me tell you something. I caught the Holy Ghost that night. yo, my life performance changed after I saw y'all. Like, I watched y'all and I just watched in awe. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, yo, this right here is how you do it. It's how it's done. The energy. You know what I'm saying? Just rock that whole building. So shouts out to you and the illustrious career you had. Appreciate you.
Thank you, brother.
Contributions to hip hop culture, man. You know what I mean?
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. Y'all still live and direct. You know what I'm saying?
I would.
Your Fame working. So
yeah, Fame
got coming.
Fame got a lot going on. I got a lot. I mean, we got a lot of separate things going on with Fame doing a lot of production, and he's got solo records. Myself, I put out 47 solo joints on my own, and I'm still working right now. But yeah, man, I mean we loving this thing, you know what I'm saying, and we're kind of opening up a little bit more to doing collaborations and stuff now too. If you know the MOP history, we didn't do a lot of collabs. And that was really because, really because we kind of like to connect with people before we actually do records with them, and don't have nothing to do with how many records you sold or how hot you are. Like I really just need a dope record because I need it to be memorable, especially now, right? Like I'm not drowned in Hennessy anymore, right? So I need to see and understand everything that I'm doing. So if I do a record with somebody, I want it to be incredible, man. At least I have that to hold on to, you know what I mean? So
no doubt.
let's get it going. All right.
No doubt.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's what's up.
Well, listen, I'm going to pose a question to you all, but I know MJ, you got an early morning, so I just want to say before you need to go, thank
Where's
you so
MJ?
much for being here
Right
tonight.
here.
I
You
can't
see her?
see you. Look,
Right in the
I'm
middle.
right here.
well, let me see.
I'm right
Let me
above
turn the
you.
camera on. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, there you go.
I've been here.
What's happening? How you doing? Shout out to you, MJ. MJ
shout out MJ.
She's an amazing person.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I like working with her because she's sharp. Like everybody don't have the passion that she has. You know what I mean? Like I work with a lot of people in the business, and some people are just like there for just that moment. But when somebody's actually along for the ride, you learn to really understand and appreciate that person. So, MJ,
Fans,
hats off to you, and you are so amazing. I'm gonna let you get me a gift the next time I see you.
yeah, okay. I'm still waiting on my gift.
I got you. I'm sorry, bro. I didn't mean to cut you off, man. Go ahead. Do what you're doing, brother.
All
you're
right,
good.
good
Nah,
night, fellas.
Thank you, MJ.
Are you going?
Good night.
All right,
Good night,
y'all.
MJ.
Good night.
Yes. Good night.
Thanks for everything.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Yeah.
Peace.
Peace.
So before I throw up the next native, we've been celebrating native tongues all month and for a while. I mean, we just love the native tongues around here. So I'm going to ask a native tongues question. But before I do, there is another gentleman in the room tonight with us, and he has become a friend of the show over the last several years. Really, really appreciate the music and just the way he moves. And his name really describes who he is, because his music is really thought-provoking. So please join me as we welcome to the show, Thought Provoker. Yeah.
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 What's up, man? How are you?
Peace, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight?
Peace.
Good. Peace,
Yeah,
bro.
man.
Doing good.
Yeah. I just got off for 16 hours, so I apologize for coming in a little late. But I definitely want to salute MCA1, and I really literally played that album all day, every day, bro. Like
Thank you.
wow, brother. Like the production on that. Like I was really in awe, and it's really been in my rotation like to this day. And I wrote with that for like a while. Like Ill Conscious's feature,
Wow.
you and Tiff the Gift. That beat is crazy. Like I be really passionate about that album, bro. Like
thank you, man.
you know what I'm saying? Nothing was
That's
saying
dope.
is one of my favorites, and I want to salute you on that, brother.
Man, I appreciate that, man. That's what's up.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, man.
No doubt. And was it? I remember watching Soul in the Hole in '97. I was like 8 or 9, and that was the first time I heard How About Some Hardcore. Like I'm 30. I'm 34. I'm 30. I'll be 34 this year, and that made me go back to everything that you guys ever did. Made me go back along the ride for everything, bro. Like it like y'all are literally like my second favorite group. Like all time.
Dope. Thank you, brother. And you came right into the show being honest. My man said he just got off for 16 hours. I'm so happy about that, brother. That means you done made some money.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I love that. I love to hear that.
Yeah,
and you ain't got to be so honest though. You said you was 8 when you heard How About Some Hardcore. I am hell.
Yeah, nah, real.
Damn. Like why you gotta be that honest, champ?
Oh, my fault, brother.
You said I was 8 then and I'm 34 now. Dude, I'm like
yeah,
dust.
Nah, but the funny thing about that is, like, I had a brother who was 8 years older than me, and my father was born in 1939, so I had an old soul from the beginning. Like, I got a record player in the corner. I got a vinyl collection over here. Like, soul records, everything else.
Wow.
That's my foundation.
Nice.
I know the foundation of everything is jazz, funk, and soul. And if I always tell people, if you don't have a grasp on that, you don't have a grasp on, what makes hip hop hip hop.
Yo, dude, do you understand the connection to everything that you have, bro? Like,
Yeah.
because I mean, having someone around you that was born in the 30s, like
Yeah.
so much jewels
Yes.
come with that person or
Yes.
those people that's around you
Mhm.
that's born from that time. That's great, man.
Yeah. Nah.
That is great, bro.
And that's why I
Jeez.
said I listen when, you know, I still address how I teach my son to address people is how I address people. I always say yes, sir. Like, no, ma'am. Like I was raised like that. And
Right.
I have an affinity for caring for the elderly. Like I have an affinity for that because of how, you know, my formative years, my dad was in his 50s, 60s, and 70s.
Right.
So a lot of, because he had to go to work, a lot of self-sufficiency had to come with that. And a lot of the dudes, when he wasn't there, I was talking to my brothers, you know, friends or everything else who were like 8 years my senior.
Right.
So, you know, I was always taught to, like, before, you know, the conversation is had, just listen to what the person has to say. Like, I'll become a better listener than a speaker. And I would soak up all those things that he would say and that my brother would say. And that's why I just, even though I was working or whatever, like I said, I'll mute my mic because I don't want to miss something that I can use, that I can pass on to my son. You know what I mean? That
That's
I can
dope.
pass on to somebody that may need that information. So I made sure I was attentive in here. Definitely.
Dope. That's dope, brother.
Hey, before we all get we've been on for a minute, let's introduce the God Master Ace to the group. My homie Master Ace is in
here.
the building.
Master
Ace.
Master Ace.
Brownsville.
Peace, bro.
Peace,
Brownsville
peace.
official, man. We got a
B-Ville.
lot of
That's
Brownsville.
right.
That's right.
That's
Master
right.
Ace.
That's
Welcome
right.
to the Boom Bap Chat episode 100. How are you?
What's going on, everybody?
Man,
Peace.
Peace, brother.
enjoying the night.
Man, good to see you, brother Ace. How you doing, man?
Always good to be seen. I'm doing well, man. Just relaxing at the crib, man.
Nice.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Nice.
Yeah, man. Thanks for stopping by, man. We've been on for a minute. We got the homie Billy Dance in the building too. A1 is in the building.
Good, man.
I'm good, big bro. Man, I'm waiting for the music. Where the new thing at? I know you're cooking up over there.
Yeah, we got some stuff. We got like 12 laid down. So that's the album already. We want to try to do a few more and then see where we go.
That's nice. And is this the joint with Marco Polo?
Yeah, it's the follow up. It was that thing was due 2020, and here we are 2022.
Wow.
Obviously, pandemic shut everything down.
Yeah.
But the beat folder says Master Polo 2020, but in the app.
Nice.
Well, when it comes, we'll appreciate it when it comes.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure.
Definitely.
For sure.
Yeah.
Listen,
for sure.
Listen, always holler at me. You know I rap a little bit, big bro. So just in case
you know what?
Just in case you got a little room over there.
I like that idea because we had Fame on the last one, so it's only right.
Oh yeah. That's right. That was a dope joint.
And I ain't fronting. I ain't gonna even be cocky, but my pen is a little hot right now. Something happened. Something happened over the last 2.5 years. That thing's smoking, so I'm ready.
All right.
Put me in the game, coach. I'm ready.
I'm gonna let Marco know. We might have a joint though. We might have a joint.
Oh wow!
Okay.
That'd be super dope if that happens.
I'm in all next week, so if you know what I mean, just holler at me.
Okay.
I'm ready, bro.
We'll do.
Dope.
Hey, Tim, won't you throw a native tongue question out of there before Ace and Billy got to get out of here?
Yeah. Here's a question for y'all. It is the question for you. What do you think, in your personal opinion, what's the best native tongues album ever? If you want to go with your personal favorite and not get into analytical, this is why it's better, and just speak first person, that's fine too. But what's the best native tongues album in your personal opinion?
Ace, you want to answer?
I'm gonna have to go favorite over best.
That's fine. You can do that
because that's way more debatable. My favorite is Low End Theory. Yeah, Tribe.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
What is it about that album that sticks out to you?
because for me it was so different than what was going on. The type of samples that they chose to use, the jazz stuff, the deep bass lines, it had a big influence on me making my second album, when I was working on the Slaughterhouse album. So it just had a big impact on me, and it opened up my mind to other ways of attacking music, other types of beats to rap over.
Right.
The way they did their drops coming back on the snare, which was not something that was being done up to that point. It was just so many things, and the big thing I think was like they were just like regular dudes, like they wasn't really rapping about street stuff, and that's kind of like where I felt like my bread was buttered. So I just kind of was like, yeah, this could be done like this,
right?
And so it just showed me that it was possible to just kind of be who you were and do dope music.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, I, now that you mention it, I see a lot of similarities in that first Slaughterhouse album and Low End Theory on the production end.
Well, Jeep Ass Nigga in particular, the bass line.
Yeah.
That was me trying to do my best, Tribe imitation, I guess, of what I thought they were doing.
Right. You did it well. That's a dope joint.
Dope.
Yeah. All right, A1. How about you? What are your thoughts on
it? Mine is actually Low and Fury as well.
Wow.
Yeah, my pops gave me that record and just told me like I should listen to it. And I was young, so it just had an effect on me. Just the music was different, than anything that was going on. So it affected me in that way, just as a little kid. And I still listen to that record, every now and then. And, if I'm talking about Tribe, I talk about that album.
Right.
Just because it was just sonically game changing at that point. I ain't heard nothing like it. And I think it opened up the door for the progression of hip hop to go into a lane where we saw more jazz based samples and more experimental production.
Yeah. Dope. Billy Dance, how about you?
Yeah. I got a whole different kind of answer for this, bro. Because I was just like hearing what Ace said. To me, it felt like Ace was a part of the music scene at the time, like a part of it, right? For me, I was just a fan, right? So I didn't have one favorite of the native tongue. I didn't have one favorite of any artist, right? Because the music that came before me, I can remember. I got Master Ace blasting in my head right now as I'm standing on the stoop, right? And I'm going, I love his voice, right? Now, I don't even know he live up the block, almost like I was saying before, right? I'm just going, literally. I love his voice. Listen to his voice. That's crazy. So for me, everybody from every artist from those times was a favorite in one way or another. Like Ace for me had the voice, Rakim for me had this the style, the persona. Kane had this, Tribe had that. You know what I'm saying? So I just enjoyed being a fan from the beginning of Tribe. And I used to be, as a kid, I would be on Linden Boulevard and I would see Fife and them come past.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But not even seeing them in that way. It's just I'm just a fan, bro. So all the Native Tongues records, the artists and the whole Juice Crew and everybody up from the Bronx, I appreciated them as a fan. So I didn't have no favorite. I didn't need to have a favorite because everybody was dope as hell anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking about dope, bro. I had a conversation earlier with somebody and I asked them, I said, Joe, when you think about backpack rappers, because in our time and before us, artists was categorized, right? So MOP, Mobb Deep, you categorize that gangster rap, Snoop Dogg, right?
Right. Yeah.
Same with backpack rappers, right? You categorize, that's categorized. You put everybody who we know as backpack rappers right there. But do you realize none of us sound the same, right? Today you go trap. Everybody sound the same, and I'm not disrespecting the little brothers. What's the other one? Drill. You can't tell them apart.
Yeah. Right.
So back to that question. What was my favorite? The Time was my favorite.
Oh, that's a good one.
You know what I'm saying?
I like that. Yeah.
Hey, yo, I can't. I got to get out of here, man. I hate to run like this, man.
No, you're good. Thank you for coming through,
good,
man.
man. Thanks for coming through, man.
Yo, hey, big bro, please holler at me. I'm here. I'm ready.
All right, Billy.
All right, Sam. Be good.
All right,
Peace.
Man, Ace, I know it's been a long day for you too, man. If you got to roll, man, it's all good. We just wanted to, wanted the people to see you, man, and wanted to thank you for coming through, man.
Definitely.
And we get you back on too.
I got 1 foot in the bed, brother.
Yeah, go ahead, man. We got to get you back on too when you get the album done, man, so we can talk about the album. I'll work it out with you.
Sounds good.
All right, peace, bro. Good to see you, man.
Thanks, Master Ace. Appreciate you, man.
Peace, big bro.
Yep.
Peace.
Let's see. Thought Provoker. Do you have a favorite Native Tongues album, or one that you think is the best? Or did you? There you go. There he is.
My fault, fellas.
You good?
Father issues, but Jesus, man, I tell you, boy won't go to bed. But I would say Midnight Marauders is my favorite album. A lot of people love Low End Theory. Mm-hmm. My first album I heard from Tribe Called Quest was Midnight Marauders, and I stayed stuck on that, even though like Low End Theory was released in 91 and then came I heard things a lot of whack. So my affinity would be to Midnight Marauders. That's my favorite.
Okay. Yeah. All right, Profound. What's your favorite Native Tongues album of all time?
Oh man. There's too many.
You gotta pick one, man.
Man, I'm gonna pick Midnight Marauders because it is it's my favorite, but there's too many other ones to argue. It's too many close Grind Date, Stakes is High, Balloon Mind State. The AOI projects. The People's Instinctive, the first Tribe album. Bro, like it's so unfair. How could you do that? It's like saying Mike or Kobe.
Yeah.
I don't. My personal favorite is Midnight Marauders.
Midnight Marauders.
That is one that I listen to and do not forward or skip through anything still.
Yeah. I don't either. Mas, how about you, man?
Man, well, before I get my answer, I just got to shout out A1, man, for coming through for my class, man. They still talking about that, bro.
Yeah.
You changed lives, man, coming in. So I appreciate A1, man. You're just a good brother, man. I really appreciate you and your energy, the light you bring. Not only, you talking, but through your music as well, man. I look up to you, bro. So appreciate you, man. I gotta give you your shout, give you your flowers. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And like I said, man, if I get any other opportunities, man, I would definitely want you to come through. You know what I'm saying? I got some stuff cooking. You know what I'm saying? I definitely want you to come through because I feel like the young people that I'm blessed to be connected with, they need to hear your voice and hear the knowledge that you got. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'd be willing to share, man. That's what we're supposed to do.
Yes, sir.
What we're supposed to do as a community.
Absolutely.
The fifth element of hip hop is knowledge.
Yes, sir.
We're not spreading the word. If we're not really putting it out there, then we're not doing our service to be a part of this culture. You know what I'm saying? I think we'll all have a busy year next year, seeing that we're coming up on the 50th year of hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
It's just a great time, man. A great time for the culture. So I appreciate what y'all doing. Y'all making this, attainable to people. The real spirit of what the culture is like. Y'all making it accessible to people that might not have access or the knowledge base to really understand, this part of the genre, because the genre is vast right now. It's broken up in subgenres. It's the number one genre of music by consumption in the United States of America.
Wow.
So look how far we've come as a culture.
Yeah.
So we still have to highlight aspects of the culture that might not get the light, and y'all definitely doing that. So flowers to y'all too. You know what I'm
Appreciate you,
saying?
man.
Yeah.
And
Thank you,
this is,
man.
you know, episode 100. It proves that
Yeah.
it's necessary. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Salute.
So
Nah,
yeah,
this, you
for
know,
me.
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, bro. No, go ahead, bro.
No, I was gonna say to give props to A1 too, because you know I'm ashamed to say, brother, I didn't know, I had never heard of you before Till had mentioned you, and then I go pull up the catalog and I felt like an idiot, man. Like, where the hell have I been? That this new, bro, like it made me realize that life was really happening to me, man. Like you get so wrapped up in stuff, man, and I missed a lot of stuff. And then I meet brothers like Thought Provoker, and it's just like, man, these A1 U2 is like, man, these brothers are really cool. How come all of the other MCs that we be meeting ain't this cool, man? Like, and then you know, and then, but you listen to the music, man, and then you kind of like when I met Ace, of course, for the first time, like I didn't expect him to be the big brother that he's become. I've known Ace for over 20 something years now. You know what I mean?
Wow, man.
And meeting him kind of just reaffirmed, like, brother, you just never know who you gonna meet and the type of impression that you'll leave on somebody. So man, I felt like I thought I knew my hip hop, and then Till was like A1 and Phonics. I was like, who? And then I go streaming and I'm like, YouTube, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, where I been? and bro, and I sit back like, man, this brother is cold, man. Like, damn, where I've been. And it just goes to show like the world is really small, bro. And I'm piggybacking on Ayo. I appreciate you as well. And I'm glad that you like a friend of the show, bro, because you ultra cool, brother. Ultra
Straight
cool.
up, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
And knowledgeable too, you know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
For
I
sure.
made a decision a long time ago that A1 was going to be Antoine. A1 was not going to be an act or a persona or something that I had to put on another hat. It's just easier to be yourself, man. And,
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, who I project myself musically, I'm the same person, you know, when you meet me. So it's not like a shock or surprise, man. Because I've been one of those people, diehard hip hop fans, and you get to meet your idols, you get to meet people that you know you're inspired by, and then you like, oh man, this clown is phony. You know what I'm saying? This clown is like fake. This is all an act. This is not real. You know what I'm saying? And I just never wanted to be that way. So all that's by design. Even just staying, you know, underground and low key. We good, and it's about not having to have everything immediately. Building the grassroots doesn't gain you fans. It gains you friends. It gives you lifelong friends and people that's going to support your career as long as you have a catalog. You know what I'm saying? So this is about building, and I take that from indie rock bands. You know, they dominated the charts, everything. Indie bands. You know what I mean? And rose to prominence due to them building grassroots followings. You know, being hyper local and having that type of sensibility, not caring about how big they were or how small they were, but strictly focusing on putting out the quality because they knew that eventually people will see it, they will come. You know how they say if you build it, they will come.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that, you know, having that patience and that discipline to just stay the course is what more cats in the underground need, because I also see a lot of deviations and a lot of how can I say this or articulate this without being bashing? There's a lot of replication of the same sound in the underground right now. You know what I'm saying? And you know, we gotta definitely work on that and stop looking at it from the business model standpoint and look at it from, let's put out dope music, dope projects, you know, because the business is just really starting to get in the way of the quality of the music. And you know, I'm grateful that a lot of brothers are having success and winning right now. But at what cost? What is your legacy? You know, musically. You know what I'm saying? What are you leaving behind? And furthermore, what are we leaving behind for that next generation that's coming behind us. How are we educating them? Because, for me, I had PE, you know what I'm saying? KRS-One,
You know what I'm
things
saying?
like that. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about the native tongues. We learned a lot from hip hop. So
Facts.
what even in the underground, what are people learning? What are we providing them now? We listening to the beats and they dope, but what
The
what cats is
content.
saying is losing some sense of consciousness. You know what I'm saying? Even Reasonable Doubt had conscious sensibilities, the
For real.
duality.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That duality in the conversation of, this is wrong, but it's also right. You know what I mean? And, but there's no duality or balance that I'm seeing, and I hope that gets addressed with future music that's coming out. I'm looking forward to Kendrick Lamar, what he has to say, over this long period of time with everything that happened. I'm looking forward to that, man.
Me too.
And
Absolutely.
hopefully it's great. Black Star drop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Lot of positive things, have been happening for the culture. So there is hope.
There is hope.
Yeah,
That's right.
for sure.
That's right.
For sure.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to take us off on that tangent. You know what I'm saying?
No,
you
man,
good.
that's what we do. On
Yeah,
good.
no doubt. But for me, man, dude, that's a tough question too. I guess I'm gonna do a Billy Dance, man. Like three categories. Like life changer for me would have been Straight Out the Jungle, because I had no clue what I wanted to do with my life until I heard that album. And that album is what set I'm in education because of that album, basically. You know what I'm saying? My favorite, and I mean, my favorite is probably Balloon Mind State.
Yeah.
Because that gave me the solid, that gave me, it might blow up, but it won't go pop. So that was like my mission statement. That was like my center. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool to blow up, but I'm not trying to go pop. You know what I'm saying? I want to stay where I'm at. Like A1 was saying, I'd rather stay grassroots or stay underground. I'm not trying to go pop. And I would say, like, the album that I love is Midnight Marauders, man. I remember when that album first came out, man. I was just like blown away.
So good.
Because in my mind, I was like, man, how is Tribe going to come up with a better album than Low End Theory? And not saying that Midnight Marauders is better than Low End Theory. I felt like it was a continuation. Like, it was just like they just kept ascending. You know what I'm saying? And that Midnight Marauders just blew my mind, man, from the way it started to the voice, the narrator. I was just like, man, Midnight Marauders. I love that album, man. I love that album. So that's my answer.
It's a good answer. A lot of people struggle, with this question, and it's not like life or death or anything. It's just for fun. But I realized that I could do percentages with these questions. So I would say about 60% of the time, Balloon Mind State is my favorite Native Tongues album. And then I would say about 20% of the time it's Low End Theory. And then I give 10% to Midnight Marauders and A Wolf in Sheep's Clothing to fulfill the 100% right there. All of those 4 albums, like all of them, like I love them, I got to just I can go listen to them now. It's like, oh, this is the best thing ever, But I think it's Bloom. I keep coming back to Bloom Mind State, more than the others. I think it's just something about that album and the jazz and the way they were rhyming and the way it was like, the first 2 albums were like skits everywhere. Songs were skits were songs. So this one's like more focused on the music, and I just thought the music really shined. So that's my pick if I had to pick one.
Dang. I was in the comic book store when I first heard that. I didn't even know De La had dropped. And I was like in a comic book store, and it was like a white guy, I guess like a hippie, like preppy, like white guy. He was playing it, and I was like, yo, what is that? And he's like, yo, that's the new De La Soul. Like, are you serious, bro? It's out. And I instantly left the comic book store and went to the record store, and I got Balloon Mind State. You know what I'm saying? I was like, and I sat in that store for about 30, 40 minutes, man, just taking it in. Like, yo, this album is crazy.
Dang,
I gotta go get it.
Man, I just thought about something. We had Drez in here, and I meant to ask him something, man. We get when we get Drez
I
back,
knew
man. We gotta
knew
ask
I
him a
saw
question.
him. I had you guys on my phone when I was in the waiting room, and I it looked like him, but I couldn't see because I was on my phone. Now I'm on my computer. Y'all had it.
Yeah. Till I
Yeah,
was gonna
Drez came
ask him
through.
about that Roll with the Flavor song. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember
Oh
that.
yeah.
I wanted to know whose idea was it in the video because Drez's verse to me was the dopest. He was like, if he got a 9, then he got a 9.
Right, right.
Yeah.
But he had the number 9
Nine.
in the video.
He pulls
Dude,
it
I
out.
thought that was so dope, man.
Yeah.
Because it's a mother clocking party because I got mine. I thought that was so dope. I wanted to know, man, who idea it was, man, to grab them 9s, man, like that.
You can ask him. We have him back, I think, in 1 month.
Yeah, I gotta ask him, man.
So we got that
Yeah,
scheduled.
that's
Because
dope.
that video, I watched that video today. I was like, man, dude, that was so dope, man. If you got a 9 there, you got a 9 there.
Yeah, that was fun. That was
Classic,
great.
man.
Yeah.
Classic,
Album was a
bro.
classic. Wolf in Sheep Clothing was another one.
Man.
I was in junior high when that dropped, and that's just another tape that I remember just wearing out, man.
Yep.
Wow.
Love that album, man.
That dude was so cool. He's still cool, man.
Yeah, he's just cool dude, man.
I think he's dropping a new single tonight at midnight. So
okay, yeah.
Check it, which is
wow, that's
just coming up in a few minutes. Yeah, we were blessed tonight, man. We had, some great
heavy
MCs,
hitters come through,
legendary
man.
MCs.
Wordsworth.
Hey, we was working. Man. Hey man, he had me
Yeah.
call. Had my assistant calling everybody.
Fire night though, man.
Hey,
Great
Profound.
stories I heard. Real dope, man.
Oh, thank you, A1. Profound is your assistant. Have 5 fingers.
Man, yeah,
and a cell phone in it.
Man, brother, with a cell phone in it. And
but this is an excellent way to end the show tonight with you, Thought Provoker, and you, A1, because Thought Provoker, you come alongside us, and we've tried to be mutual beneficial to each other and support each other. For a while now. And A1, I looked it up as we were chatting. You were the 4th guest on the Boom Bap Chat when I didn't even know exactly what the heck this was then or what it was going to be. I knew Zoom. I knew how to use Zoom because of the pandemic. So I was like, all right, let's just chat with rappers that are dope. And I hit you up out of the blue. Didn't know, you didn't know me from Joe Schmo, and you said yes, and I appreciate that, man.
Oh man, no doubt, man. Y'all really do service for this game. So I appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah.
Always lovely conversation, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Let's see. Anything else, Profound Aramash, you want to get off? And if not, we'll just roll into the shout outs.
Man.
I'm good.
Yeah.
For now,
my heart is
until
full
next
right
week.
now, bro. Exactly.
Yeah, and I know, right? Everybody came through for us, man. That's so dope, man.
I know.
Yeah.
Can you imagine when we get to like a 500 or 10,000, bro?
Rampage said he's coming back on episode 500.
Man.
Cool. Well, let's do a round of shout outs, and also, tell the people what you got coming up or anything you want to promote, or any way you want them to follow you, any of that stuff. Yeah, do all that. So let's throw it to Profound first, as always. Profound, who you want to shout out? What you want to say?
Man, the crew, the Boom Bap Chat crew, man, 100 shows, man. Let's do 1,000 and 10,000 more, of course. Brother Thought Provoker, as always, man. It's always a pleasure, brother. Much love to you, A1. So glad I know you now, man. Much love to you as well. And just shout out to everybody that came through with MJ, Billy Dance, Master Ace, Wordsworth, brothers they really took time out, man, and I really appreciate that because everybody, Words got a red-eye flight in the morning to get to Harvard. Ace was trying to get into bed, and you know what I mean? I just really appreciate having a relationship with man, with the superheroes, man, really, to be honest with you.
For real.
And just shout out to them, man, and my family and children and wifey, and you know how we do, man, and love all over the place. Hip-hop forever.
Right on, man. Thanks, bro. Mouse.
Yeah, man. I mean, basically echoing everything Pro said. Like, I'm saying, shout out to Boom Bap Chat brothers. Shout out everybody came through. Like, Thought Provoker, A1, Words, Master Ace, Billy Dance, Rampage, and man, big shout out to MJ, man. Like, who was getting us, shout out to Drez, of course. And just, shout out to MJ, man, for her, like, really supporting us and giving us guests, connecting us with the guests that we have on the show, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, my family, Chicago, back at the crib, Toronto, Cincinnati, looking forward to the event, you know what I'm saying? May we working that out now, you know what I'm saying, to get there. So I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, man, what I got coming up is now the academics is done. I'm just taking off the academic hat and putting on a music hat. I was just writing to the joint that me and Profound is working on. So hopefully I'll be able to cook up some stuff, you know what I'm saying, for while I'm on this break from school. So I'm looking forward to that, you know what I'm saying, dusting off the mic and picking up the pen and getting busy, you know what I'm saying. So that's what I got coming up. So, man, just blessed to be here, man, for just happy right now, too. So, yeah, that's my shouts, man.
Right on. Well, I want to shout out you, Almas, and Profound, our guy, Bo Brown, and Big Stowe, Joe November, the whole Boom Bap crew, Boom Bap Review crew. I want to shout out the Boom Bap Review Volume 1, Boom Bap Review Volume 2, Boom Bap Review Volume 3, Boom Bap Review Volume 4 coming out in November. Make sure you get it. I want to shout out the Native Tongues Review. We got a book coming out May 27th. Just as soon as Profound gets his essays in, we're going to get that out into the world. It's coming. So be on the lookout. You can order all those, pre-order them at boombapreview.com. I also want to shout out my man Profound. Again, his new album right here is coming out, Distant Gratification.
Word.
You can get the CD at boombapreview.com. Want to shout out the Boom Bap Chat, episode 100. I'm proud of this, So we try to be on the humble, but when you do something and you're proud of it, sometimes it's good to say it, to be proud of it.
Celebrate sometimes,
and
man.
celebrate
Absolutely.
sometimes. So that's what we're doing tonight. So I'm proud of you guys. I'm proud of what we've been doing and where we're going with this. So I also want to shout out everyone that came through tonight: Wordsworth, Billy Dance, Rampage, Drez, Master Ace, MJ, and Thought Provoker, and A1. Appreciate all of the guests and appreciate you too for hanging with us till the end. So appreciate all of y'all. And Thought Provoker, I'll throw it over to you for your shots.
I just want to shout out hip hop. I just want to. I'm just glad to be a part of this fraternity, and so constantly earn my stripes day by day to be worthy of mention with anybody in this chat is inspiring, and it leaves me content and full to just be able to have these conversations and to grow my knowledge and move forward within my career and to study and be knowledgeable about the infrastructure of hip hop and listening to you gentlemen. Even if I feel like I know something, I know I don't know it all. And I know the people that were in this room can provide answers to things that you're not just going to read in books. You got to hear it. It's more learned through osmosis and experience. So, shout out to that. Shout out to A1. Like, as I said before, praise for your album. Thank you, brother. You got me through a hard pandemic and a hard time in my life. Thank you. Till, my brother, for a long time, I always try to support what you're coming out with, man. I appreciate you even considering me for being in this chat. Profound. It's always dope to build with you and to always, be reciprocal to conversation with me. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And everything else and spreading the wealth and spreading the knowledge and the jewels. Thank you.
Yes, sir, brother.
And Almas, I still remember when we were in that Spotify review room together, and it was the first time I played the meditation track, and you was like, "Yo, that joint is dope," and I always mark that down. I was like, "Yo, that's fire." I'm glad like he caught on to that song and he really dug it. Like I always hold on to that moment, and I thank you for that. So shout out hip hop, man.
For sure.
Peace and love, y'all.
No doubt. And we will throw it for the final shout outs
to the God.
The God MC.
Yo, man, shouts out to y'all. Salute on the 100th episode. You know what I mean? Of the Boom Bap Chat. This has been dope. You know, shouts out to Boom Bap Review. Appreciate everything that y'all do. The books, you know what I mean? The conversation and bringing us to your platform to share your platform. So, just to shout out what we doing. So I appreciate that, man. And you know, don'tsleeprecords.com. We got new merch. We got vinyl. I just got the masters back for the new album, so new music coming real soon. You know, something's cooking up, man. Shouts out to all the cats I'm working with: Confidence, Jay Farrer, DJ Parental, High John, other guys. You know, as usual, the Don't Sleep crew, Phonics, and everybody out there, man. Shouts out to Soul Dope. He produced the whole next album, Soul Dope 95. So be on the lookout. We got some heat. You know what I mean? And salute the hip hop, man. Love y'all. Appreciate everything y'all do, man.
Right
No doubt, man. Love you too, bro.
Yeah, right
Love,
back at
man.
you. On that note, we
Straight
say,
man, peace.
peace, 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 peace. Yeah.